If you want to learn the concept of 3D sketching with SolidWorks to create your own structure, if you are a welder or if you want to build your own furniture, this is the video for you, and it's a long video. So if you want to truly learn it once and for all, watch this video to the end. I'm gonna make it so simple for you because this is a complicated and overwhelming topic. I'm gonna show you how I made this Dune Buggy, which is not finished, in Scratch, in SolidWorks. It's super functional. Everything you see here is mostly made with weldments. Get that the right wheel is interfering with the right panel, so I have to adjust all of that, and teach you how to build your own chassis, eventually add the components and take it to where it is. I will cover every aspect of this Dune Buggy in different videos, how I made the steering wheel work. Look at the spring. The spring is dynamic, and I will cover all of this, how to make the side panel, how to create a design for the side panel, so on and so forth in different videos. But this video is only about weldments and 3D sketching using SolidWorks, which does your job a lot easier. So let's begin. Before I come back and analyze what I have done here, I'm going to open a new canvas in SolidWorks, go to the sketch tab, activate 3D sketching, which does not need a 2D plane. Before I click on anything, I want you to pay attention to the origin, which is not sitting perpendicularly to our monitor. You can be sure of that by looking at the coordinate system X, Y, and Z. We're looking at them in an isometric way. This is the isometric view. This is not good when you're working with 3D sketches. Rule number one, 3D sketches are free to move in space. That's why you need to have the most control you can have over them. You need to be looking at them perpendicularly, so you make sure you are drawing it the way you think you're drawing it. I am going to make an example, and I bet you get it wrong. Look, this is the XY plane. It even says next to my mouse cursor. This is the XY plane. If I click here and draw a line, go to the right, it would be on XY, and go up, again, it would be on the XY. Now, I want to go into the depth. I want to draw a line that goes in depth like this. So this is the XYZ, okay? You would think it is like that, but once I rotate the view, you realize that was just a perception. This was again on the XY plane. Now, how about I rotate it this much and try to go this way and draw it in the length, in the depth again. Did that work again? No, you are still drawing on the XY plane. How do we do that? By looking at our drawing perpendicularly, then rotating it 90 degrees, either with a shortcut like I did, Shift plus arrow, or any way you want, then draw another line. You can see next to my mouse cursor that it says YZ. Now I did draw the line on the YZ plane, and it is in depth. That's the only way to work with 3D sketches, okay? This is rule number one. Get it to your head. You need to be sure where you're clicking on. Don't get fooled by the looks of it, because the looks can be confusing. And once you get that, the rest will be easier for you to follow. Now, having said that, let's go cancel this, go back to the chassis of the buggy, and let's take a look at the 3D sketches here. First of all, your 3D sketches need to be fully defined at all times, pitch black, not like this underdefined. I am running a risk. I know what I'm doing. Do not do this at home. Trust me. I'm working quick and dirty. There is no drawing for me to build this. That's why I'm trying to get it out there as quickly as possible. So I had to tweak some stuff last minute that turned my sketch from fully defined into underdefined. Why I say this? 3D sketches are free to move in every direction they want. And if you're working with an underdefined sketch, you are running the risk of messing everything up last minute. And if you're new to SolidWorks, if you're watching my video for the first time and you don't know what underdefined and fully defined is, you could comment it below this video and I will answer you. But I assume you know what that is. Let's just start rebuilding this from scratch. I'm going to dedicate the next 40 minutes or so doing just that. Before I start, I would like to segment my portions for this chassis. If I may highlight this back rear area where the engine and the rear wheels go, call it section A, and the cabin, let's just call it section B, and the front, the engine is on the back, the shocks and the front wheel, the lights, tire, spare tire, anything you want to put there, section C. Look at it from the top. This is it. So I have 3 sections, and there is a box that encapsulates this whole chassis together. Therefore, if I'm going to recreate this, I would like to start by taking the top plane, because if I look at it from the top, we have 3 sections, right? And draw a 2D sketch, a normal rectangle, center rectangle as a matter of fact, and give it its dimensions. So this is 3.6 meters long and 1.2 meters wide. Okay, so for constructions, I don't need this, so let's just get rid of these two and let's just fix this where they are. So okay, we don't need the dimensions because they are at that dimension, and I just fixed it. I don't care about the dimension at this point unless you want to change it later, which is cool. And I'm going to draw a center line and segment this in 3. Okay, so let's say the cabin should be 1.2 meter long and the rear would be 1 meter. The rest would be the front. Then we rebuild this. Why did I draw this? This 2D sketch is my reference to add some guide planes into my empty space. Why? Because my 3D sketches that are not here yet will be very, very flexible. They can move in every possible direction. By adding some planes, I will box them closer to where they should be, and therefore I work much easier and faster. So let me show you. Again, here you need the essential knowledge of SolidWorks, how to create a new plane. And if you don't know this, this is called SolidWorks Essential. You can just check my free course for that. But again, I'm gonna assume you know this. I will create a new plane at every vertical line that I just created. One here, and I will give it an angle 330 on the back. Why? Let me just go show you the chassis. Look at this. We are talking about the angle here, this angle. You see this? My mouse cursor? This is the plane that I created somewhere here. This is it. This is this plane. So I'm gonna create another one at an angle, rotating around this. Let's go 170. We need another one. I'm gonna go by the looks, okay? Let's just go 350. And another one on the front. 130. Fine. So we need these 4 planes, and we need another plane, which is the front one. So I'm going to have it shown at all times. Why? Because this is the symmetrical plane that cuts our model in half, and we will be using this a lot to mirror the components that appear on the right or left side of this to generate the other side as quickly as possible. So what lines and where I draw them at this point, from this point on, depends on your design. So if you have a different design, you just try to understand the concept and do your own lines. But what I will be doing is going to more or less, I'm not gonna do it exactly like this because the video will be longer, but I will try to recreate this. That is 2 vertical lines, pipes going through all this. Then we have 4, this, and this in the cabin. And I'm going to do it like this. So if you're wondering why I'm drawing what I'm drawing, it's because I'm going after a certain design that I have done so many times, and I'm going to do that. So we go to the sketch tab, and for the first time we activate the 3D sketch. Right. So let's just look at our component from the top. We are looking at the top plane, and I'm going to draw the first line connected to this dashed line that I have, the back dashed line that we did as a 2D sketch and connected to the other end of the dashed line like this. Now, as you can see, my sketch is not fully defined. And if I rotate it, even that did not come out right. So what do I do? First of all, this line should be sitting on the top plane, right? So I will select this line, hold the control key down, select top plane, and find make on plane. So when I do this, I get the error, it didn't work, doesn't matter. I get the point, make on plane, and this time it will work. Didn't work. 3D sketches. Then this line is done for me. I don't have time to sit down and diagnose what went wrong, because if you want to do this, you cannot finish your model. These things happen a lot. Instead, I deleted it and I redrew it. Now, just double checking if it is connected to the line. Yes, it is. On the other side, it is. Same thing here. Now, what do? I hold the control key down, select these 2 endpoints and the front plane. So I can click on make symmetric. This way, these 2 lines work symmetrically according to each other. Now going back to the top plane again and draw the other 2 horizontal lines for the cabin part. We need to make these 2 also symmetrical. Control and the front plane symmetric. But continue with the modeling. Now we just drew the vertical lines. Let's just go up in the Y direction and turn it into an actual 3D sketch, right? This is a good trick that I'm going to do. Right now, I am going to add lines on this plane. I'm going to draw 2 lines that sit at an angle from each other on the plane 1. The way I do it is I press the space bar on the keyboard and I split my screen in 4. Now I get to look at the YZ, XY, and the YX, XZ plane at the the same time. And on top of that, I have the isometric or the free view to see what's going on here too. Right now, I get to choose where I want to connect my next line to. So I will pick this point from the ZX plane. And if you think I'm putting it on this plane, look at the top left view, the XY view. It's going horizontally to the right. It's not going up. So instead, I move my mouse to this view and go up and place one here. Then I would go down here, select this point, again go to this view, place it up here. And in the top right, I see, yes, they are up, but they are vertically up. I don't want them to be vertical, so I would just move them apart like this. Look at that. Now, this is the 3D result, but they are not sitting on the plane. So let's just do that first. Control, select, 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 make on plane. Done. Now look at this. Again, they are not symmetric, so Control, select, 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 symmetric. Now, this is my result. It's sitting on the plane one, and they are vertical to each other. They are going up, and I can just add the dimensions to it, making sure they will work. Before I come out the split view, let's just do it quickly for the front bumpers too. What happened? We made a mistake. See if it's fixable or we need to delete it and redo it again. Okay, they are moving. So let's just add a dimension to them first. Let's just say 250. Now try to move them. It doesn't because this one received the parallel for some reason. Now let's just move them away. Select, 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 symmetric, and boom. Let's just make this one and the one on the back. I'm selecting these two, by the way. One in the front and one in the back, and make them equal. Now assign one dimension to the front. Let's just say 500, half a meter. And the distance from here to here, 600. Same with this one, 600. So front and back, 600, fully defined sketch. We can split it, remove the split and go back here, add the dimension between the two. Okay, go 950, boom. Now we have a fully defined sketch and it's like this. And it's only the beginning. We are just working our way up. All right, let's continue. At this point, I'm gonna go quiet, not radio quiet, but a little bit quiet so I can work faster. By the way, this dimension should be bigger. I'm not taking advantage of the rooms I have. 1000. Or actually, let's just go. Yeah, I'll just fill it up. Dish, 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 dish. All right, let's go split. You could try to recreate this by watching this video as many times as you want. I am going to put this on YouTube, not only for my members in my forum this time. Okay, so let's just see why it's not fully defined. Oh, the angle. I thought I just added it. But I did. So what's up? Ah, they're not on the plane. See? What? Oh, this is not on the plane. Yep. Okay. Do you know why I don't place this point exactly on the other one, even though I want them at the same length? Because if I do, just look at what happens here. Look at on this one. If I'm going to delete this one, which deletes that. I want something that goes up, starting from this point, like this. I want something that goes up, like this. But if I place that on this point, look at the top right view. Look, I go up, I go up, I go up. Once I go on this point, it just goes on the cross. So I just do it on purpose like this, roughly. Then I will go to the, 3D view and fix it. Now I'm going to click on it and click on along Y. Then make this point and this point symmetrical again. Boom, boom, boom. Right? How about we give it a dimension, 200, and that's okay. Now I need a line that is align the Z direction, and then this should be assigned or connected to this one. Endpoints and endpoints, and the front plane should be symmetric. Now I have it like this. I just give it the 1200 length, right? Good. Now what else do we want to do here? I'm just thinking, should I do it exactly like what I did, because it just adds another 30 minutes, or should I just wrap this up quickly? Yeah, let's wrap it faster because we don't want to recreate. Everybody has their own design. So instead, I will do something like this. Now at this point, because I have my fully defined sketch, I don't need to work in the split view, because once I connect this line from one fully defined point in black and to another one, this line comes out fully defined. I don't need to worry about, oh, if it's being added in the right direction or not. When I'm connecting already defined points together, it's already taken care of and we have no issue whatsoever. So let's connect these two. Let's connect another one here. Make this one along Z. We need a distance from here to this one, whatever. Okay, I'll just connect this end to this end. It's so not the design I showed you there, but it's gonna be a different design. It's fine, still fun. Because you realize the necessary steps to do this, and from now on, you don't have to recreate exactly what I did. I'm going to build something much more hardcore. Now I can even round the edges like this. Yeah, no problem. Let's round this one and this one too. But when you round, you create misconnection or disconnect. But it's fine. We will fix this as much as we can later on when we are adding the structural members, that is the profiles of the weldments. In this case, a pipe. We can fix it right there. All right. I think at this point, you got the concept. So I will try to just wrap this up quickly. Boom. Error. Okay. Good. I had to teach you this too, because it's inevitable that you come across a problem like this. Something like this happens. It's because you have messed up one of the previously assigned references to your sketch. For example, this point was probably, I'm not sure where the problem is. We will diagnose it in a second, but this point was connected to the junction of these two. And now these two are just bypassing this point. And that's why we have some problem here. When you have a problem like this, a situation like this, I would just redo this and try to take a different approach. I'm not sure if the problem was here, but if I wanted to do this, create so much problem. That one was critical. Let's do this one. Instead of just connecting these two lines together and then coming up here to round these two corners and create the bypass and therefore the problem, I would wait on drawing this line, do the bypass first, then come, actually I have to bypass the other side too, and then come and add the line later, one step later, like this. So something like this. Okay, so when you know rounding edges are going to cause problems like this, see, there's no problem this time, do it in that order. All right, let's try to connect the front. Okay, now let's rebuild the sketch, hide the planes because I always hate the planes. They make everything too messy and I don't need to see this and I don't need to see. Okay, this is my structure. If advanced welder is here, you're probably saying, oh, this is not cool enough because these are not connected. So let's just edit that quickly. And I decided to change that to 1000 to create some fast back effect. Connect this point to this point and then this there too. Now, how does this one look for a chassis of a Dune Buggy? I mean, the proportions do not seem right to me, but I'm not an expert buggy builder. But okay, good. Guys, this has been the 3D sketching and the techniques to work with it. Now, you can work with different tools here, 3.9s, everything is the same. The concept that you need to learn is that looking at your 3D sketch at all time at certain angles gives you the control you need to have in order to pull off the geometry you need. Now, at this point, I was not promising weldments for you, but since you are watching my video to this level, let's just give you one bonus tip of going to the Weldments module, create the structural member. You can create your own custom structural member, save it and use it. You can, or you can just tap into the library of all the different profiles that SolidWorks provides you with, I-beams, pipes, square things. Choose the one that you want, the size. Now, at this point, you have to select your sketches in an order that makes sense. For example, if I select this one first, I can only follow a loop. I cannot come here and select this one. This one is not connected to this sketch, so it cannot be selected. So let's just finish one loop and go as much as we can and add the profiles. This is actually the fun part. Right, this is the first loop. Now I'm gonna create the new group. Just add this one. When you ran out of groups to select, then we go individual. That's no problem. Then we do individuals, but right now I see some groups still. So let's select them first. I mean, that would have been one group, but again, I could have done it in one go. Now, why you need to group some of them together? The welders know why. If you don't, one of the impacts that it creates is that the end connections vary as long as they're in one group or not. So this is not the video for it, just to say there will be differences. Okay, this just became my new chassis for the buggy. It probably does not make sense because I connected every point to every point. So let's just go back and maneuver on the one that does make sense. I'm sorry if you're an expert buggy builder, because I've seen some of you on YouTube, or you are a welder. You may find a lot of issues with this, but I tried to come up with something that gives me everything I need to have in order to pull off this buggy. For example, these two parallel lines are here to accommodate the upper and a lower control arm for my suspension system. Same in the back for the engine. Right now I need to add another profile between this pipe and this pipe to accommodate something to connect its shocks to. Right now I'm missing that. If I get rid of this, this is how it looks like from the top. And now you have a better understanding of how the 3D sketches work. And the bonus tip about the weldments, liking this video, sharing it, commenting it would mean a lot to me, because that's the only way to make me understand that this video and this type of video is appreciated, so I can make more of it. If you communicate that to me through this and help me get this video to more people, because the algorithm of YouTube works like this. If you click on like button, subscribe, share, everything you do means a lot to me. So I would appreciate it if you do. Thank you very much for watching. And if you want to watch more of this Dune Buggy series, click on the video on the left. And if you want to learn more about 3D sketching per se, click on the video on the right.